The street looked peaceful, almost too peaceful, on that sunny afternoon in a small American suburb outside Milwaukee. Neatly trimmed lawns, parked sedans, and the distant sound of kids playing basketball painted a normal picture, until a scream shattered it. "He hit my grandma." The cry came from a little boy no older than 8, sprinting barefoot down the sidewalk. His school backpack bounced against his shoulders, one strap broken, his face red with panic and tears. He didn't care who heard him. He just ran. A few doors down, a group of bikers had just pulled over. Their powerful motorcycles lined the curb like steel horses, Harleys gleaming under the sun. They had finished a charity ride for veterans and were removing their helmets, laughing, sharing water bottles. The boy ran straight toward them. "He hit my grandma," the child shouted again, stopping in front of the tallest biker, his small hands shaking. "Please, he hit her bad." The laughter stopped instantly. The bikers exchanged looks. They were big men. Tattooed arms, leather vests, heavy boots, but their eyes softened. The leader, a broad-shouldered man with gray in his beard and a patch-reading rider, crouched down to the boy's level. "Easy, kid," Ryder said calmly. "What's your name?" "Ethan," the boy sniffed. "My grandma's inside." "He's angry. He always gets angry." Ryder clenched his jaw. "Who's he?" "My uncle," Ethan whispered. "He drinks. When Grandpa died, he moved in. He yells. Today he pushed her." The word pushed came out broken. To a child, that single word carried fear deeper than bruises. Ryder stood up slowly. "Where's the house?" Ethan pointed to a small brick home at the end of the street. The curtains were closed. A lamp flickered on and off inside, even though it was daylight. Ryder turned to his crew. 7 bikers, all different ages, all wearing the same patch. "You heard the kid." One of them, Marcus, already had his phone in his hand. "I'll call it in," he said quietly. Their engines shut off one by one. No revving, no noise, just intent. As they walked toward the house, Ethan trailed behind them, small steps trying to keep up. Ryder slowed his pace. "Stay by the bikes, buddy," he said gently. "We've got this." The boy hesitated. "Please don't leave her." Ryder knelt again, looking Ethan straight in the eyes. "No one's leaving her." From inside the house, a crash echoed, glass breaking, followed by a woman's faint cry. Ethan flinched. That was all it took. Ryder's expression hardened. He walked up the front steps and knocked once, firm, controlled. The sound hit the door like a warning. The noise inside stopped. For a moment, there was silence. Then heavy footsteps approached the door. Ryder straightened his vest, his shadow stretching across the porch. His crew spread out behind him, calm but ready. The door handle turned, and part 1 ends. The door swung open violently. A large, red-faced man stood there, the smell of alcohol pouring out with him. His fist was clenched, his knuckles swollen and bruised. "What do you want?" he snapped, eyes darting across the line of bikers filling his porch. Ryder didn't raise his voice. He didn't have to. "Step away from her," he said calmly. The man laughed, a harsh, broken sound. "This is my house." Behind him, a weak cough floated through the hallway. Ryder's eyes flicked past the man, catching sight of thin legs on the living room floor, a hand trembling as it tried to pull itself up. Ryder moved. He placed one heavy boot inside the doorway, stopping the man from slamming the door shut. The bikers stepped closer, blocking the porch like a wall of leather and steel. There were no threats, no punches, just presence. "You've had enough to drink," Ryder said. "We're going inside." The man swung his arm. Marcus caught his wrist before the punch could land, twisting it just enough to force the man to drop to one knee. "Police are on their way," Marcus said quietly. "You might wanna relax." Inside, the bikers spread out. One went straight to the grandmother. She was lying on her side, face bruised, glasses shattered beside her. Her breathing was shallow, painful. "It's okay, ma'am," Ryder said as he crouched beside her, his voice soft now. "Help is coming." Her eyes fluttered open. "Ethan," she whispered fearfully. "He's safe," Ryder promised. "He got help." Tears rolled down her wrinkled cheeks, mixing with dust from the floor. Outside, the uncle struggled, cursing, trying to break free. 2 bikers held him easily, keeping him pressed against the hallway wall. He wasn't strong anymore, just angry and drunk. Sirens sounded in the distance. Ryder lifted his radio. M's is close, Marcus confirmed. Within minutes, red and blue lights flooded the street. Police officers rushed in, weapons lowered but ready. The bikers stepped back instantly, hands visible. What happened? An officer asked. Ryder simply pointed. Domestic assault. Victim inside. Child was the one who ran for help. The officers cuffed the uncle, who suddenly went quiet, fear replacing rage as consequences finally arrived. He was led past the doorway, head down, avoiding the eyes of his own neighbors. Paramedics carried the grandmother out on a stretcher. Ethan broke free from a nearby officer and ran to her side. "Grandma," he cried. She reached out, squeezing his hand. "My brave boy." Ryder stood back, helmet under his arm, watching the scene unfold. One of the paramedics nodded at him. "If that kid hadn't found you," he said. Ryder shook his head. "The kid found his voice. We just listened." As the ambulance doors closed, Ethan looked up at the bikers, awe mixed with gratitude. "Are you superheroes?" One biker laughed softly. Ryder knelt down. "No, son," he said. "Just people who don't ignore a cry for help." The bikes started again, engines rumbling low as they pulled away, not in triumph, but in quiet certainty that sometimes, justice arrives on two wheels.